G'day. This week, a bit of good news, bad news, bad news, good news. Fantastic places I stayed. First of all, it started off, I was in Shepparton, called in for a little minor, what I consider a minor repair on my UHF, quoted $550, which was absurd, kept on going. Ended up in Echuca, where my brother and I camped in a luxury resort for almost nothing. We took a trip up the Murray in 1866, the Adelaide's Paddlesteamer, which was absolutely awesome. And then I ended up in a little township called Cohuna, which is absolutely delightful. Fantastic sunsets, really spacious. Had a bit of a crisis in the Caravan. All the electrical system went to poo. And the local auto electrician fixed it all up in less than an hour. So another good news. Anywho, let's go. Is your car manual or automatic?
Sorry?
Is your car manual or automatic?
Both.
Here in Echuca, actually it's Moama, and a beautiful little, almost a resort to be parking your caravan. So I'm here with my brother and we're just sort of camped about 5 kilometres out of Echuca. Really, really luxurious living, and I'll talk about at the end, or I'll write to you about at the end, how much it costs and so on and so forth. But when you come here and they ask you to join to their club, for the joining fee they give you a free drink voucher, and they give you 10%, because you're a club member, 10% on anything that you buy, like food or accommodation, etc. As you can see, it's a pretty nice area. Did have a bit of rain, but it's middle of winter, so that's understandable. And yeah, just about to go into Echuca and check out some of the old paddle steamers. That'll be fun. Here's a bit of trivia for you. That whistle, when it's blown, it's the noise to indicate to the guy downstairs to change gears. That's what it's for. Well, here we are on board the, unfortunately it's not the Preserve or Perversi or whatever it's called, because that's not running this weekend. But we got on to what I consider the second best, which is the Adelaide, and apparently that's one of the pride of the fleet. So the water's a bit murky, but it is the winter, so they've probably had a fair bit of mud coming in. I'll just get you to check out, if you want, the motor as it's doing its thing, steam engine, and we'll keep going.
The only reason with this one here, with the steam, is that it controls the speed. So the more steam I give it, the faster it goes. The less steam I give it, the slower it goes. In the event, even if that wheel had a belt on it, and it's loaded, as you might say, right? If this belt breaks, what happens is that the engine will speed up, these will come out, centrifugal force, and what you can't see is a rod that goes down into here. Yeah. Because your steam supply comes into there. So when they come out, it lifts the rod up, there's a valve there that blocks the supply of steam off.
We'll tell you a little bit about these tractors now that are following the steam engine around.
And you'll just see how sharp and tight a circle it can do. We can go up one row in the paddock, turn around and go right back the other way. So just watch how tight it turns into 9N industrial. This one was out of New Zealand, was used by the New Zealand Air Force to push and pull airplanes around.
2:30, so if you'd like to hang around the arena here and watch the engines make another pass, and I think you kindly you can make your way, we'll get you a bit of information about how the equipment there is operating.
So I'm stuck in the middle of the road, in the middle of the highway where all the steam engines and trucks and machinery is going past. But yeah, I'm in Moama, Echuca Steam Rally. Quite an event. Good morning, top of the morning to you. Bit chilly, still in Victoria. Actually, I'm not in Victoria, I'm in New South Wales. And in 5 minutes time I'll be back in Victoria, and then in half an hour's time I'll be back in New South Wales, because I'm right on the border, staying in Moama, and the campground is just superb. It's the Rich River Golf Club. Great value, Hopefully you can see behind me a massive expanse. I think the most I've seen in there, and don't forget it's pretty ordinary weather, rain and all that sort of stuff. Most I've seen in there is 25. Apparently spoke to the reception, they said they've never knocked anyone back, so definitely worth a thought. Anywho, I'm off towards Swan Hill and need to go and get in the car and get that heater working. Off you go, matey. I'm about to drive off. Good morning, top of the morning to you. Well, it's a chilly -1 degrees. That's chilly. And the birds overhead you can hear are corellas. I've seen them up in Northern Territory and definitely up north, up that way, lots of them. And in the morning they love waking up saying, oh, good morning everybody. So they'll carry on for a little bit and then they'll also come just on dusk doing the same thing. But I'd much rather listen to that than I would big trucks coming past. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Anywho, today is a big day. I'm leaving Cohuna and going from Cohuna up towards Swan Hill area. I'm really looking forward to that. There's a place a little bit beyond Swan Hill I'm quite excited about showing you. So without any further ado, let's go. You know, after 2 years travelling, I often thought, oh, it'd be great to have a brand new caravan. You'd have no repairs, no issues. That's not true. Quite a lot of people I see, they've got a brand new caravan, still have issues. You've got a second-hand caravan, still got issues. But the biggest issue you've got when you need to go and get repairs done is you call into a caravan place, some of them, it's like a big sign on the side of your car or of your caravan, please rip me off. Now, I don't say that in a nasty sense, but sometimes seriously. So recently I called into Shepparton to get some repairs, simple repairs done on my UHF between the aerial and the UHF unit. Called in, the guy said, yeah, look, I'll make some time, I should be able to repair it. All I wanted was the cable from the aerial to the unit, soldered, repaired, that should be all be fine. However, after $550 quote, I decided I'd move on. He insisted I needed a brand new aerial, have it all taken out, the old one refitted, and yeah, that's where we got to about $550. Further on in Echuca, when I called into another place, I explained this same situation to an auto electrician. He said, oh yeah, fine, you go and get the coax cable, bring it in, run it through yourself, you should be fine doing that, and bring it in, I'll solder both sides. He did it, $50. Seriously. So yeah, it really does pay. Another situation, I was in Echuca. I had a major electrical problem within the car and the caravan. The auto electrician said, look, we should be able to sort it out. Could take an hour, could take 8.5 hours. I can't really give you a price or an idea. So I decided somehow I should limp on to the next town. Limped into a little township called Cohuna, where I was absolutely thrilled to find the auto electrician there. There's a couple. But the auto electrician I end up using, he had all this electronic stuff that he could plug into the computer. He knew how to drive it and pressed a few buttons. He said, oh yeah, you've got a couple of problems, reset it. And after it was all reset, I was back on the road in less than an hour. Cost $100. So look, if you've had any really great situations like that where you've got a really good result, pretty fair price, please let me know in my comments down below, because what I'd like to do is slowly form a little bit of a database so that I can help other people on the road say, oh yeah, if you're down at Bathurst, call in such and such. He's a pretty reasonable bloke, knows what he's doing, and he'll look after you. Now you know how I love my random tips. Here's one for you. You've probably seen this in a few of the videos hanging out of my pocket. Basically it's a lanyard, a really bright lanyard that I got hold of at one stage, and I thought that'd be handy. So I've hooked it onto my car keys so that instead of just the car keys being missing, I've actually got the lanyard hanging on it. So it's a big thing that's hanging around, so it's reasonably easy to find. Another thing that's not a bad idea is to grab one of these. They're like 20 cents each or something. You can get it from the locksmith, or most little places you've got to buy a pack of 10. You can buy them individually. Pull out the paper, just write your phone number on it. Now that will give you the opportunity, if someone finds it, they don't need to know your name, just there's the phone number, phone it up. Oh mate, have you lost your car keys? Yep, I've got them. Come and pick them up. Well, there you have it. A week touring some beautiful parts of the Victorian countryside. Now, I'm just about to head into New South Wales, so if you've got any comments, you want me to go and look at any particular places, please let me know down below. And if you found that you had some repairs done and you found that people did a really, really good job and more than reasonable, also let me know down in the comments. It'd be great to have a little bit of a database to help other people to go to a reasonably priced caravan repair place. Anywho, if you found the video helpful, useful and or entertaining, please give it a thumbs up. If you think the video is worth sharing, that too would be great. Until next time, this is Paul Bell Drive, signing off.